Today I'll be giving a presentation on a Big Bang, and I want everyone to remember that whatever I'll be speaking over here, it is basically some theories by well-known scientists. So most of them are not proven yet. However, these theories are quite impactful and they do have substantial evidence. Now, when I talk about the Big Bang theory, I'm not just talking about a random show. I'll be talking about the actual scientific Big Bang theory. And this image over here proves the Big Bang theory's timing along with the temperature of the surroundings. For example, when it just happened, that is a few milliseconds took place after the Big Bang, there was so much rise in temperature that it created what we nowadays call quarks and charges, which make up atoms, which make up molecules, and which make up the rest of the known universe. And with going on towards increase of time, there is known to be decrease of temperature, which causes the cooling down of substances, such as when planets were created, all of them were quite hot, and even when there were stars or nebulas which are created, they are quite hot. But with the increase in time, there is decrease in the temperature, which causes them to cool down. Now, when we talk about the Big Bang theory, the first thing that comes to our mind when we say that is the word bang. That is a gigantic explosion. Now, as shown in this image is not quite accurate, but it is the closest image that I could find to prove the Big Bang theory. As you see towards the center of this image, it is a it's a very bright explosion that takes place, which the father of Big Bang, who I'll be talking about in some time, he had a theory that there was so much energy collected by several amount of gases, which was stored in one small point, and the interfusion of these gases caused such a gigantic explosion. The name of the father of Big Bang is George Lemaitre, and he had just given this theory. He was an English scientist, and his theory could not have been proven without the help of the great Albert Einstein. Along with Albert Einstein, he was actually just a priest. So all this theory, it was what he could understand from his surroundings. So it's quite acknowledgeable that he could gather all this information from so less surroundings, that too in about the 1800s. And with the help of Albert Einstein, he could prove most of this theory. One more famous scientist that has a major role in this theory is Stephen Hawking. He has recently passed away, but he has such a big role over this theory that he has also predicted how the universe will end. Now, I'll talk about most of Stephen Hawking's theory in the next few slides, which are related to the Big Bang theory. His theory is also the same as Lemaitre's theory about the start of the universe. The start of the universe was from the Big Bang, which was such a huge explosion that caused the creation of charges, which cause electrons, which cause protons, which cause atoms, molecules, and everything you see nowadays. And yet there is so much knowledge that we haven't discovered in the universe. For example, this is a human cell, but what brings life in this human cell, it is yet to be known. There are so many theories, such as people believe in God, people believe in supreme powers, but according to science, there is no proven theory about what brings life in these cells. The current universe is, as we know, full of different things. For example, a new discovery made by humans is the existence of black holes. Now, black holes are known to be what are the end of the life of a star. A huge star that's life comes to an end, and it causes so much energy that it can suck anything into its surroundings. A known black hole which was found about 2 years ago is M87, and after the Big Bang we have come a long way through evolution, but still there is so much in the universe that we haven't found. We haven't even discovered about 0.1% of the universe. And a theory by Stephen Hawking was that when the universe started, it was a kind of exothermic reaction, that it so much heat that there was creation of things. And Stephen Hawking believes that the end of the universe will be exactly a reverse Big Bang theory, which he also calls the crunch theory. The crunch theory states that when there was nothing, just singularity, there was a huge exothermic reaction which caused the Big Bang theory, and after that there is the existence of universe, which kept expanding. Till now, we still think that the universe is expanding, but it is not to be proven yet. And if it is so, then we have almost reached the maximum expansion of the universe. Once we reach the maximum expansion of universe, there will be a reverse Big Bang, which causes the contraction of the universe, and then there will be a huge number of black holes which will suck everything into its surrounding, which will cause everything again to exist into singularity. Thank you. Any questions?
You told that in the reverse of the Big Bang theory there will be causes of many black holes. So black holes is like a two-dimensional, not like a. So they have a white hole on the other side of it. So won't the things pass out of the white hole?
See, again, that was just a theory, and no theory till now has been completely proven. And that theory given by Stephen Hawking, it was a theory that, well, it cannot be explained because we have. Well, it cannot be explained because we haven't even discovered 0.1% of the universe. And even if his theory is true about the black holes and everything exiting out of the black hole, that means the universe might never come to an end, and that could even be your theory. So the universe is endless, and so are the theories.
Well, you said in the starting of Big Bang, there was a point, a point where all the mass was there and all the gravity was concentrated. Do you think the singularity there, was the same as the singularity found in the black hole 2 years ago?
Well, it should have been quite bigger than that singularity because, as we know, everything in the current universe has started from the Big Bang. So that black hole might have just been a fraction of the singularity found.
Okay, but singularity is the concentration of mass and gravity in a very, very point charge. So it doesn't matter if a singularity is very, very big or very, very small. But my question to you is, was it any different from the way it started in the Big Bang?
See, now black holes are a concept which humans have recently discovered, and universe is a concept that has been discovered yet, but it's yet to be discovered. So when we look at black holes, we cannot simply compare it to the Big Bang theory. If you're talking about terms such as singularity, yes, we might be able to compare that the singularity over here, the concentration of mass and gravity in this black hole might have been lesser to the possible. That is another theory, but as we say, it's a string theory. So theory is the one that we still don't have any proof of. So just as the Big Bang theory, and so has the Big Bang theory been mathematically proved. But still, we cannot bring any conclusion to different things over here.
So how are you comparing, how are you unifying quantum theories with gravity and Big Bang theory?
See, exactly what I'm saying. I'm not comparing over here because
how are you unifying them?
How am I unifying?
Yeah.
See, first of all, it's different to unify something and compare something because they both are different theories. So you cannot just unify both of them without having complete knowledge, which is not possible.
There is a relation.
Right, there could be a relation.
Yeah,
that's
the string theory, it connects, it has unified
exactly,
both
that's
the
a
quantum
theory. It could be.
And
It is possible.
You said that there was a point size in that case which was having high pressure and high temperature. Yeah, similarity. So when the explosion happened, when Big Bang occurred, at that time, what would be the probable speed of the particle that should occur?
See, right now, if we knew the length of the universe, we could have calculated it by dividing it the time, that is about 14 billion years old. But since we don't even know the length of the universe or the width of the universe, it's almost impossible to calculate the speed of concentration of mass and gravity in the Big Bang. Because the Big Bang is known to be such an explosion that has created the existence of the universe. So it had to be bigger than the black hole.
One more question, do you think there was a singularity during the Big Bang?
Do you think?
There was a singularity during the Big Bang.
See, that was just a theory given by the Mater that there was a singularity which caused and within which such a humongous explosion occurred. So there is nothing proven yet, and the Big Bang, we don't have the sources that can tell us how far back in time we can go related to the Big Bang theory. So, however, the known amount of time that we can go back is about 14 billion years. And if you're talking about singularity's existence before the Big Bang theory, it could have been possible. And for all we know that there could be even multiple universes. There could be a multiverse. We have no knowledge.
But the thing about the thing about singularity is it has recently been disproved that the Big Bang had a singularity. Adding to it, I've recently studied about string theory, which states that before the Big Bang there was a string by which the gas expanded and the Big Bang was happened. My question is, the creation of Big Bang and in string theory there are multiple universes. It says that there should be multiple universes for string theory. Yeah. So do you think Big Bang was just a crash between two universes that formed our universe?
It could be possible. That is another theory. But as you say, it's a string of electrons and the charges that it created. But for all we know that it's infinitely still expanding. Or maybe it has stopped. We have no idea.
Well, actually, I want to add to your answer something. That the theory of expanding of the universe is just limited to our observable universe. We don't yet know that if the universe, the real universe, the non-observable one, is really infinite or is just expanding.
Right, because we haven't even discovered about 0.01% of the existing universe.
So I have two questions. I'll go part by part. My first question is,
Can I answer like one part?
okay. So the first part is, in your speech you explained the crunch theory, right, by Stephen Hawking. So do you have any idea what do you think the estimated time until the reverse process starts, and how long will it take for the universe to come to an end according to that theory?
Okay. According to the theory, the exact time when the expansion stops, that will be the time when the contraction starts and everything returns back to singularity. But since we have no proof about the existing universe's expansion or contraction, it's impossible to
Do
find
you
out.
know when the Big Bang theory occurred and how many years ago?
Yeah, according to the known records, the Big Bang theory occurred 13.8, that is almost 14 billion years ago. And if we still believe as humans that because of the Big Bang, the universe is still expanding, then we are not even close to the crunch occurring.
That was the first part of my question. And the second part of my question is, in your speech you had mentioned about what do you call it? You said Big Bang theory is one of the many theories, correct?
Right.
Now let's say the Big Bang theory did not occur. What other theories do you have that can prove the existence of
Right.
it?
The other theories, well, if I talk about it religiously, which I guess most of Indians do refer to. Right. There are many theories. For example, when Arjun explained the string theory, which he will also explain in his presentation, it will be that there was a clashing of different universes which caused the expansion of this universe. Or there are some other theories that a supreme power just commanded things to be there.
No, that is
Not religious.
theory.
It's not proven. There is no.
I want to know what other scientific theories exist.
The string theory is a scientific theory. Yet there are no other theories. There are many theories actually, but to my knowledge, these two are the only theories that have been
So they exist.
so far proven.
So they exist,
They
but you're
might
not-
exist. We cannot
No,
say
no,
that
no.
they-
There are other theories and you're unaware of them,
Yes,
or
there might be.
By the crunch theory, it's exactly inverse the Big Bang theory. So Big Bang theory is an exothermic reaction.
Yes.
So will the crunch exothermic reaction, or will there be ice age on the universe?
Yes. See, sorry.
I want to ask you the same question.
Yeah,
I
one
want to
minute.
add something.
Let me just answer this question.
Yeah, I want to add so you can answer both at the same time.
No, let me just answer this, then I answer. Yeah, as I told before that the universe, the Big Bang theory was an exothermic reaction. With increase in time, there was decrease in temperature. So as we know right now, comparatively everything is cooling down in the universe. But when we go back towards singularity, at that time the temperature will increase too much, and that all that heat will get absorbed by the black holes that we saw in the crunch theory image. And because of so much absorption of heat, it will all merge together and cause
is
singularity.
there any relation between global warming and this theory?
See, global warming is restricted to the knowledge of Earth only. But if we look comparatively towards the entire universe, then it is cooling still.
But could it be that because of the crunch theory, what we understand global warming is actually the crunch theory taking place? Could that be?
That is, I do not believe so, because when we look at the crunch theory, that causes the presence of black holes. And what we know now about global warming, that is quite substantial for knowing that it's not because of the universe expanding or contracting, it's because of people using their AC and the ozone layer depletion. It didn't have a shape. It's like asking what is the shape of a point. If you know
Actually,
a point,
Sadhguru has said that it was in a form of shivling, the initial phase.
would be possible. For all we know, it's a theory, right? Everything that I've said right now is not proven. It's just a theory. So what you are saying could also be a theory.
न्यूयॉर्क क्वेश्चन पूछे न्यूयॉर्क
ये देख पूछेगा तब तक मैं
क्या?
अपना क्वेश्चन
न्यूयॉर्क इज वन सिंह इन क्वेश्चन पूछो आप लोग अगर तुम तीनों नहीं पूछे तो तुम लोग प्रेजेंटेशन में जैमन बहुत क्वेश्चन पूछेगा याद रखना नहीं आज में सिंगल क्वेश्चन जो लोग नहीं पूछ रहे क्वेश्चन इसका मतलब है कि वो पढ़ के नहीं आए हैं और जो पढ़ के नहीं आएंगे उनको एंट्री नहीं मिलेगी नेक्स्ट टाइम से याद रखना
Can we recreate Big Bang theory with such speed when two small atoms collide?
See, for example, if you're talking about recreating the Big Bang theory, I do not believe that such a big explosion can be recreated. But if you're talking about recreating something on a minuscule scale, for example, a hydrogen bomb or an atomic bomb, minuscule in terms of
But
the
it's
universe.
already happening in the
Yeah, it's
Hadron
happening.
Collider. They're trying to make one talking about. Will that actually happen or will it?
Because of people using their AC and the ozone layer depleting.
Shouldn't the universe contract because the matter attracts each other?
Yes, matter attracts each other because of gravity, but it doesn't mean that the universe is contracting. For example, when things exist in the universe, then it is not necessary that things attract, and because of the distance between them, the entire universe becomes closer. For example, if it's Ishan and me and I come closer to Ishan, that doesn't mean that the room becomes closer, right? There can be addition of new matter to the room, which can cause like more expansion of the room too, but we cannot, becoming close of two objects cannot decrease the size.
But at a very high level, let's say that these two planets come together.
Right, that could be another crunch theory.
Do you think antimatter is related to the Big Bang theory?
What is antimatter? Could you explain what that is?
Antimatter is the opposite of matter.
God particle.
Okay, so you're talking about some particles that do not have any mass and they are known as antimatter. I would like to refer to that as dark matter as it is known in the universe. 99.99% of the known universe is dark matter, and that is when nothing exists over there, plain vacuum. For example, when what is
Antimatter is
antimatter?
different from that.
What is antimatter?
Antimatter 84th time the Big Bang
It can be. It could even be like the 999th time, because all we know that it's a quite cyclic process from singularity to the maximum expansion to back to singularity.
So how would it prove that it is a cyclic process and this is not the first time?
I'm not doing anything because of the theory given by Stephen Hawking about the crunch. I'm basing my information upon that.
Okay, you're basing the information, it is cyclic, right?
Right.
You're saying
I'm not saying it is.
it might be, it's just a guess,
It's a theory.
it's just a theory
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah.
The same way as
The
meditation.
same. Yeah, the same.
So I've opened Google and I've searched what antimatter is because you were struggling with it. Then I'll ask you a question. Look, basically antimatter is a substance composed of subatomic particles that have the mass, electric charge and magnetic moment of electrons, protons and neutrons of ordinary matter, but for which they have the opposite sign. For all of them, for the electric charge and magnetic moment are of the opposite sign. But they have the same charge, moment and mass of a simple particle, electron, proton.
So going towards the question of antimatter, that about the existence of antimatter, if there exists any antimatter, then I would believe that we are coming closer to the contraction. Because of antimatter, things are absorbing into itself, and that might cause the presence of black holes, and that might cause the...
What was the shape of the initial point of Big Bang?
It did.
It 84th time the Big Bang
It can be. It could even be like the 999th time, because all we know that it's a quite cyclic process from singularity to the maximum expansion to back to singularity.
So how would you prove that it is a cyclic process and this is not the first time?
I'm not doing anything because of the theory given by Stephen Hawking about the crunch. I'm basing my information upon that.
Okay, you're basing the information, it is cyclic, right?
Right.
You're saying
I'm not saying it is.
Okay. It might be, okay? It's just a guess.
It's a
It's just a theory in mind.
Yeah.
The same way as meditation.
Yeah, the same.
So I've opened Google and I've searched what antimatter is because you were struggling with it. Then I'll ask you a question. Look, basically antimatter is a substance composed of subatomic particles that have the mass, electric charge and magnetic moment of electrons, protons and neutrons of ordinary matter, but for which they have the opposite sign. For all of them, for the electric charge and magnetic moment are of the opposite sign. But they have the same charge, moment and mass of a simple particles of electron, proton.
So going towards the question of antimatter, that about the existence of antimatter, if there exists any antimatter, then I would believe that we are coming closer to the contraction. Because of antimatter, things are absorbing into itself, and that might cause the presence of black holes, and that might cause the...
What was the shape of the initial point of Big Bang?
If the scientists work hard, anything can happen. Like we can maybe recreate
Actually,
a
physicists
minuscule
have
amount
proved
of
everything, but there is a little part on the engineer side left to be done.
Yes. Not specifically engineers, but scientists in general.
Engineers, they are the ones who are making machines. They have to prove it.
They might have to prove it, but not everything is possible.
How do we know the Big Bang was 14 billion years ago?
See, then it's just a theory that it was 14 billion years ago, because the most oldest known objects till now found by archaeologists or by meteorologists were about 12 billion years ago. And if we even believe that our solar system, where those objects were not found, was the center of the universe, then that would have also been quite a long time to find out for 12 billion years. So they might have added some numbers. And
I think I do not agree with you about finding the last known star. It was all about the observable universe spectrum. So it's not about the last
Yeah, I'm not
observable.
talking about looking at it and finding out that this was from 12 billion years ago. I'm talking about that everything that
No,
is
for
now
us,
noticed
the
in existence.
observable universe is 14 billion light years ago.
Right, it is.
So that is why we think that it is 14
Yeah,
billion
you
years
think it is 14 billion years ago.
Based on the
but-
distance, light years.
That is the observable universe. But if we look at, if we even believe that we are where the universe started, that would be around 13.8 or 14 billion years ago. If we look at the actual facts, not actual facts, but even more theories, and realize that the universe technically started somewhere else and is still expanding from that central point, it could be more.
So what is happening at the central point?
There is no central point which is
You just
known.
said there was-
There is no central point which is known to humans.
Do you believe extraterrestrial life exists?
Yes, I do. If you ask me personally, then I do believe there can exist, because the universe is not even 0.01% known. So if we even, the universe that we can still look at is not even 0.01% known. If we try to find out throughout the universe, the completely known universe and the unknown universe, there has to be at least one more place where there are such conditions like that.
You have a question?
If the universe is 14 billion years old, then how can we see objects that are now 47 billion years
How can we see objects?
that are 47 billion years away?
Which are, okay, because that is there. There can be any object that is called.
I'll answer that. Because the universe is expanding the objects.
तो अपने क्वेश्चन को रिपीट करो.
If the universe is 14 billion years old, how can we see objects that are now 47 billion years away?
Can you tell me any object that you know is 47 billion years away? I do have an answer for that, but can you tell me if any object is 47
I
billion?
do not know any object as 47 billion. I just
Right. See, I do not think that any object has been found 47 billion years away. I might say that there have been some objects in the known universe that have been found about 12 billion light years away, and that is because those objects they might not even be present right now, but because the light is taking about 13.8 billion years to reach to us, that is why we believe that that occurred 13.8 billion years ago.
Can I speak? The answer, I think I do not agree with you about the answer. The reason why we are finding, there is a 48 billion years old star that we have found. 48 billion light years away. The answer is because universe is expanding. So if we only have seen, we think that Big Bang theory started 14 billion years ago. But the terms that we are talking about right now is light years. It's a distance. So the universe is expanding, that is why we are able to observe 14 billion light years away objects.
Would be the right answer. Thank you.
Jaiman, when you were explaining, you told that as the time is passing, it is cooling down. So why is Venus cooling down?
See, it is comparatively cooling down than as it would have been about 1 billion years ago. What I talk about here, it is not in the last 20 years or years. I am talking about since the Big Bang happened. Since the Big Bang happened, for the first 10 years, there was only the creation of very minuscule objects such as electrons and protons. It took so much while after that, about 13 billion years, for humans to be created. So, if we want to know that why is the Venus not cooling, that would be quite hard to answer knowing the facts only about the last few thousand years. If we look in comparison from the starting of the Big Bang, and as we move towards the ends of, or to the expanded limits of the Big Bang, we could see that it is cooling.
I think the thing is, why we ask the question is because Venus is getting closer and
closer to the sun, because the sun's size is also increasing, and that's what.
Many people say that our Milky Way is a galaxy. People say that there exist many more galaxies in the unexplored universe. One is the crunch theory that we spoke about. People say that universes will collide with each other.
Right. Universes will collide with each other, it's another theory. The known theory about the Big Bang says that there exists only one universe. However, Arjun's theory about the string theory, it says that there are about 23 existing universes and about 11 multiverses, which causes
11 dimensions.
11 dimensions. The universe that we talk about currently that we have discovered is just 3-dimensional. 4-dimensional to be most. 4-dimensional isn't the 4-dimensional to be most. 4-dimensional isn't yet discovered. It has been
we consider our universe to be a space-time model, and the 4 dimensions is considered to be time.
I agree with that, but all that knowledge is based upon a movie. But
It's the truth. It has been proved. Even Stephen Hawking in his book Brief History of Time, I think you have
that is a theory. It is not a proof.
We're talking about theories only, na?
Exactly. And what
Yeah,
you talked
considering
about
that,
universes colliding, that is also a theory.
The only way we are able to talk about it
It is possible that the entire Big Bang theory was false, and what actually happened was 2 universes collided and created this universe.
How was that university?
By the collision of other universes. Time goes back sensibly, so we have no idea about what actually happened.
So I read somewhere that some scientists stated that the things in the universe are moving. So can it be true that they are still moving away from each other?
Yes, it could be possible because of if the universe is still expanding, of course things will move. Till time stop. See, time is the time is the only thing in the universe that is constant. Okay, so when time is constant, things will happen. Things might move, things might stop moving, and with the expansion of universe, of course we know that things might be going away from each other, and if things are coming closer to each other, we might think that the universe is contracting. So that is also a theory that things will keep on moving forever. And things might also stop moving when we come to the crunch.
The time is not constant, time is relative.
Time is relative, but when you look at the Big Bang theory, time was constant, and it is the constant
No,
when we
it's
Assumed to be.
it is relative. It is not constant to each other.
time is relative, but only when we look at 2 different types of motions, what you're talking about. But if we talk about the universe existing alone motion, the singular motion, then we can see that time is constant and then the universe has kept on constantly expanding or contracting.
What was your belief in the idea there is an atomic clock ticking every second? And you believe in that idea? Because that
I
was
believe in
recently,
almost
that was
everything. I
disproved.
believe in aliens. Why would I not believe in that?
Because that was disproved. The atomic clock theory by Newton and Maxwell.
So one more question है.
Can you explain Hawking's theory a little bit?
Hawking's theory on what?
Means,
crunch?
yes.
Okay, so when I talked about the crunch theory, it was that when the universe started, it was just singularity. Mainly nothing was there in the entire universe. But then it was such a humongous explosion that just it was such a big explosion that small nothing turned into everything that we know currently. And people believe that the universe is still expanding. Now this, what you see over here,